We are getting ourselves set up for Volskaya Foundry. It looks like we've got some readies going out, and yeah, I think we're going to be having T.B.A. So I'm assuming it's to be announced, or it's just, well, I guess it's just T.B.A. Versus
now.
Reborne. And
T.B.A.
these are
having some old school names on the roster as well.
Just about to say, yeah.
I mean, we got Rafflecopter, which, I mean, I feel like if you don't know Rafflecopter, old school, here's the Dorn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A player.
Same thing with Yuge as well.
Yeah. So some old names coming in here.
And then we've got Reborne, who we talked about before is a high competing open division team, which they are running a sub tonight, but coming in production chat to just agree with just me. So thank you, Cowhead. But no, it's I really, really like what we're seeing here, and I think this is gonna be an awesome semifinals. And then, well, we got the finals after this, but don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Really quickly though, before we get to draft and this starts to take off, go ahead and hit ! Donate in the Twitch chat, and it'll give you a link. All that awesome information. And so please go ahead and follow that and donate free 50 cents to Europe and North America and support these awesome teams. But I am just like reading the chat and just like waiting, like, are we going to get our draft? I'm ready to go. Are we going to get the Tyrande Garrosh banned out, or is that going to be something that will be following into this game? They've had chances to watch Reborne throughout the entire night while they were playing their own games on the side of T.B.A.
I feel like if you're T.B.A. and you're not taking out Tyrande, then something is amiss. Because as much as I would like to say the focus should be Garrosh, I think Tyrande is really the key part in making sure you convert the kill. Garrosh can have that initial initiation, get the throwback, but without that follow-up stun, your target's going to get away, be able to get healed up by your opponent. So I feel like just take out the Tyrande, all-around good support, even if it's a new map, so perhaps Reborne doesn't plan on running the Garrosh Tyrande here, but she's a great support anyway, so I would just take her off the table.
I agree. I think Tyrande sits in a really, really good spot right now within our meta and where we're sitting draft-wise. Once Orphea comes in, I don't think that's going to affect her as well. Orphea actually is going to be playable by teams next week, but literally, like, if only the amateur series was on Tuesdays.
I know, she's available starting tomorrow. We'll see here next week for the second week of the holiday series, so make sure to tune in that and see what these teams like to do with that new hero, because she can be pretty powerful in the right hands.
Zeratul, though, going to be coming out from T.B.A. They haven't really run that all night, and I think they have played it in the past, but I don't think it's like a big factor for them. Or I'm wondering if just they were playing this draft before with this Tyrande Garrosh Hanzo Thrall, because it's very simplistic in nature and you don't really have to show too much of your skill level as well as your kind of your secret compositions, but still really, really not liking that Maiev on the side of Reborne. Actually, realistically, any team all night.
Tyrande's still on the table here, Bahamut, and it's making me a little bit nervous. Blaze pick up. Garrosh Tyrande still on the table.
I think it's gonna be I think it's the 1-2 lock. I honestly do. That's what I would do if I was on the side of Reborne. It's been running good tonight. Or maybe this is the point where they say, all right, now we got to bring out the big guns because we've got to go up against Yuge and Rolfocopter. And nope, these are the big guns, and this is what they're bringing to the table, as it's going to be that 1-2, as we said. Now, Blaze is the start of the draft for these the side of T.B.A. They could then pick up something like an Alex Straza, a Stukov, or a Deckard Cain. It'd be great for the start of their draft, because then they don't have that, they don't get support choked, and then they can maybe pick up some extra damage, maybe the Hanzo, or they go into Greymane if they're going to go into this dive composition. We'll have to see what they want to play here, but that's at least the direction I would go, is something like a Deckard or a Malfurion.
We get the Christmas skin.
We get a Christmas skin tonight. Yes.
Woo-hoo! One team knowing what tonight is all about. Father Christmas Malfurion in the Raynor. So Raynor, could help with, when you have that style of composition that Reborne has been running, at least it's a lot of group for that Pepper to really get a lot of value. But so far there is still not a ton to save a target if they get flipped. The Malfurion roots are there that maybe kind of act as a deterrent in the way that the lurking arm from Sukhov did, but I feel like is less impactful than that lurking arm was in that equation of that engagement.
So we get a Yrel banned out because they do need a solo laner. Malthael banned out because it looks like they're maybe afraid of some percentage-based damage. That means Cho'Gall, totally. Realistically, it's going to be the Thrall Hanzo. They're going the standard comp. It works. Why not? Why change it? They really haven't had anything banned from this composition out from them. And
you know, the Arthas is still going to be available. It's not going to be taken away from T.B.A. So
I don't know what you do. Like, all right, so they need their solo laner, or that's going to be the Blaze, so they'll need a main tank. They could still pick up something like an ETC Murden, and then they'll need some follow-up damage, some wave clear like a Jaina. Sylvanas!
Tyrael Sylvanas coming in the 4-5.
I like the Sylvanas.
Tyrael, I mean, so you have Eldrune, you go and you initiate onto the other side of Garrosh. If they're trying to get that flip, that could be a potential solution to this current problem. Provide your teammate the shield, as Tyrael does, help them get out alive. It's totally viable. And we're going to see the Jaina coming into play here from Reborne instead of that additional Arthas like we saw in the last game. But T.B.A. the Sylvanas pickup.
It's a little, I wouldn't say cheese, but it's a little stinky. Like, it's definitely got some cheese on it, because Sylvanas level 1 Merc Queen is the highest mercenary buff in the game, 60%. I think the closest after that is like Gazlo, and I think everyone around that is lower. I think it's like Vikings are like 40 or something like that. But the big thing with Sylvanas is that she can buff camps. She can, I don't know if it's the biotic emitter, that one I haven't checked, but I know she can, the turret camps, they get buffed by 60% with her, which is huge because you can now have a 60% more auto attacking consistent damage sitting on a point. And if that's not taken out quickly, that can really start to shred some of your team members who are just kind of floating around that. And often teams will just kind of fight around the turrets or fight around the biotic emitters, not taking them out. Granted, as we kind of mentioned before, this is a higher level of play, so they might be a little bit more weary of these things. But Catpeach, I'm excited about this, and we're about to load in right now, and this is going to be some good games.
Yeah, I am pretty excited. Let's get these teams introduced on the board. In the blue, we have the challengers of T.B.A. We are going to see Hunter CJ on that Blaze, Rafflecopter on the Rainer, BN on Malfurion, Tyrael will be played by Cladius, and Yuge will be on the Sylvanas.
And on the right-hand side, we have Reborne, with Valimar going to be on the Tyrande, Mist going to be on the Hanzo, Winterheart going to be on the Jaina, Tenedactyl going to be on the Garrosh, and we'll have Ezreal on the Thrall. So a bit of a shakeup in some of their picks, players at this point, but we currently have mid lane being picked up, and we're gonna go for some bottom lane stinky cheese at this point.
And there's that mercenary queen that you talked about picked up level 1 for Sylvanas, and you're just gonna go right and disable those towers. There's not enough damage to really do too much before the rotation from Reborn comes in. So Reborn absolutely sniffing out that Gorgonzola, seeing where it's at, and making sure it doesn't spread too far.
And I was actually just looking over at Twitch chat. Most of T.B.A. haven't played since Dorm 2016, so we'll. And I'm sure they're keeping up with the game, but it's like, yeah, like I think I still see you streaming Hero League, if I'm not mistaken. I really like so far what they're doing with this, and I think they've got an interesting composition, and they're gonna maybe put Reborn through their paces at this time. Meanwhile, though, Tyrael's actually going to be in the top lane, going up against that Jaina, and there are going to be these rotations going back and forth. I kind of like the Tyrael up here, really harassing that Jaina, making it a little bit difficult for her to get the wave clear. But BN is going to get tossed out here. Valimar looking for the follow-up damage. Rafflecopter trying to get some damage onto Tenedactyl as we're trying to find that flank. Not going to be connecting, and we just have them backing right off here. And also, the other thing to note really quickly, Unrivaled Strength was picked up by Garrosh. So kind of just cycling through almost every single level 1 as we go throughout this tournament. But they do steal away the camp, and Hunter CJ is going to be caught out here, and it could be a dead Blaze, and it is. First kill of the game going over to Reborn.
Yeah, Reborn just sticking around, being able to steal the turret and get the kill. So having a really good early game here. I do want to talk about that Tyrael into the Jaina a little bit, because at face value, you're like, well, Tyrael has to spend a lot of mana to clear this wave, but that's not really the goal that Tyrael has. Having those shields onto the minions denies Jaina being able to get the damage out and get the minion wave cleared off the board. So it kind of stalls a little bit. You see a lot of the same strategy played a little bit against Asmodeans as well, just denying the mercenary pickoff, or the minion pickoff rather. Look at this possible flank. Hunter coming in. Bush party coming in. Tyrael making a little bit of room, but the rest of Reborne is right around the corner. So at least T.B.A. has the vision on this biotic emitter, but they're not going to risk going in just yet, giving the item over to Reborne.
Reborne takes this, and they get themselves set up for the first Punisher, or excuse me, the first Triglav Protector. Meanwhile, Yuge will be grabbing this camp on the top left, so it will allow them to have some top lane pressure. Isn't going to be picked up yet by the members. Oh, no, they're going to be rotating over there now on the minimap. You can see that. And so Siege Camp into Siege Camp. This will be the control point unlocking in 14 seconds. And overall, the items are split between the teams fairly even. Biotic emitter in favor for the members of Reborne. We'll see what they're able to do with it. I think that's... Actually, no. Reborne has every item. My mistake on that one. But we'll see what the members of T.B.A. are able to do with this, because they put up some good fights, but we're starting to get that Reborne level gap that's consistently forming, and Hunter CJ trying to get out. A lot of stuns coming out, Catpeach, and I don't know if they're going to be able to live, or at least maybe they'll find someone else here.
Yeah, Tenny's still holding onto that biotic emitter. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go down, and there it is, helping Garrosh heal up and re-engage. Azariel holding onto the turret, acting as that front line, waiting for the right opportunity, but for the time being, T.B.A. going to back out of here. There is still a bit of contention. Tynadactyl consistently taking damage, but Miss is poking from the backside. Rafflecopter eating a lot of those arrows, uses the heal for himself. And right now, still going over to Reborne. We can possibly see a reset from T.B.A. I would like to see them wait for their bottom camp to respawn, grab that item, and then go back in. They don't necessarily have to push this necessarily, but they're going in. They're trying to contest, but the percentage still going in favor. But Tynadactyl eats the charge, and it looks like this might convert over finally in favor of T.B.A.
T.B.A. are able to sit on this point for a few moments, and I think they're just going to tap well, get themselves prepped up for this. It's 7-6. Now, 7 isn't the biggest talent in the world, but it still offers more abilities for the team. They do have that into the fray with the Garrosh, and they're also going to have a little bit more poke from that Jaina, being able to pierce through, or no, excuse me, reduce the cooldown as well as get the mana. That was the level 4, or yeah, now pierces. Okay, I had those backwards. I was just like, I got this. No, not at all. But we currently have percentage going up in favor for Reborne. They're going to be trying to step up onto this. Tyrael has, and now Druin's right behind them, maybe trying to get the body block, but they're just sitting on the point. It's still being contested. No big percent change, and there it is. It's going to be going over as they have lost it, and they're maybe looking for an entryway onto this, but Tynadactyl a little bit low, needs to get healed up, and we need to play this a little bit slower because they consistently poke at this Garrosh. It's going to be going a little south as Hunter CJ will be entering into this friendly toss onto Ezreal to make sure they get out, and they could chase this and get some kills, but they back right. Oh no! They get the Tyrael over the gate, and they still die, but they need to spread. They don't want to get hit by this passive, and they don't. And they can go right back onto this Catpeach.
That was about 4 seconds of fright in my body as that Tyrael flipped over. I saw the old Druin go out, try to get away, but the turret damage, making sure that Tyrael did not survive. And Zariel going right on in, gets the stun onto 3. Malfurion going to be the first to fall. You looking really low as well. Tynadactyl looking for the flip, but it is not available. Sylvanas going to escape here. But we're sitting at 91% for this beacon control for T.B.A. So a little bit to go for Reborne, but the health timers are still low in the game. Hart working on that biotic emitter while Hunter getting the glow, pushing back that top lane just a bit. So it looks like T.B.A. might be giving this up, Bahamut.
I was looking at the minimap and trying to look at the timing, and I think they have one more go at this, and Malfurion is going to be coming back a little bit late. It's 9.5 for the members of Reborne. They need to take the fight now. If they don't do it, there's going to be a 10 advantage as well as a Triglav Protector on the side of Reborne. Druins is out. They're going to be stepping up. Biotic emitter in the backline, making sure they get healed up. There's going to be a nice groundbreaker onto a couple of members there, but Tynadactyl needs to cycle out, get some healing. They dump some snow here. That is going to be the Tyrael going down right away. They spread away, not going to be getting hit by that, and that is going to be the Indomitable, I think. I just heard him say Blood and Thunder, so I was just like, wait a minute, that's not the taunt, but he does get picked off by the Blaze in the end there, and Rafflecopter a little bit low here in that backline. 25 health, able to get out of there, And Catpeach, I think they actually steal this away before they're able to get to 10, and they actually get more kills!
Oh my goodness, Hunter CG going in with the stun, the 2 follow-up kills onto Tyrande and Jaina without that Garrosh frontline, and even with Thrall out of the picture a bit as well. This Protector going over to T.B.A. They don't have level 10s, but they're about to get it with this push. Sylvanas and Blaze going through, they get the gate down, they make the rotation tops to go take out that top well, and get 10 for their own here.
T.B.A. playing that so well for themselves, getting those little picks and just playing it slow and safe, and they realistically got everything they wanted out of that. No mind control. I was kind of hoping for mind control from Sylvanas, but
Sorry, I got a credit missed right there. Using the Hanzo leap just to avoid the dive from the Protector. Oh my goodness.
It's just those little things to really deny them to get more damage on you. But Winterheart is getting cornered into a corner, and they won't get picked off. But that was a little risky for a hot second there. They will take the top 4, and that's going to allow them to have more pressure in this top lane. They even out they actually run a little bit ahead in experience at this time. That will be the Nintendo Power Glove going out, not connecting. But Tenny might be in a bad spot as the Protector is about to go down, but they take a lot of damage onto him, knocking him back, and Bunker comes down as well. The Starfall is out on top of that, and they make a clean disengage and get a lot in their favor. But realistically, it's still 11-11 in levels and 3-4 in kills, Catpeach. This is a tight game.
Yeah, T.B.A. being able to even things up like you talked about. That was such a good first objective for them, but we are now kind of taking a breath, taking a step back. We had a lot of items used for Reborne, so they got to go and collect them all yet again. They immediately start doing that. This time around, though, T.B.A. making sure they get the jump start as well. They get their top turret at the same time that they get that bottom camp. I would like to see maybe a full commit to utilizing that Mercenary Queen. So far, you should have been, contributing a lot to these fights. So it's tough to say where Sylvanas should be in the sense, because especially with the Garrosh Tyrande, so easily punished if she steps out too far.
Sylvanas has such good value into the team, and you said exactly. There's that Mercenary Queen, but they haven't been using it a ton, and they have gotten some buffs here and there. But we'll actually put that on a pause. As we actually have the Water Elemental coming out as well for this fight. They're looking to get some kills here. There is the support camp available. We do have the root coming out, as well as there's going to be a huge there's going to be just everything. Everybody's dead. I can't even look at it anymore. As Hunter CJ goes down, they turn this back and forth, 3 for 2 in kills. The Biotic Emitter was dropped as it got picked up, and realistically, they ended up losing out a ton, but stole away the Biotic Emitter in a weird trade in the situation where they're a little bit behind in experience. But wow.
I don't know if
yes.
Reborne didn't see Tyrael die, because there was a lot of kind of like character blocking from Garrosh, and I think it might have been, either Tyrande or Thrall there. But it was hard to see Tyrael in that explosion waiting zone, then taking the 2 out at the same time was just the clutch. That is trait value. That is traits value. When you play that Tyrael and you make that play, you're just like, everybody, did you see what I just did? I'm the best. No, but is such a big fight, and they ended up trading out quite a bit there, but the death timers are pretty low still into this game. They're just gonna go ahead, cycle around the map, get some camps, push the lanes up a little bit more, and we have a control point unlocking in the next 20-some seconds in the top lane. This has already been pushed up in favor for the members of T.B.A. as they do have their fort just their fort available. That is going to be the Hanzo area actually connecting onto one of the members in top lane, as we have so much damage going out that it will be the Malfurion falling, and Reborne taking a nice pick there right before this pops open. Yeah, they get the nice pick. They also almost had the Tyrael, but no follow-up. I was kind of waiting for the Owl to maybe prevent the Hearth back, but perhaps no vision on the side for Valimar. But Beacon is up. Reborne getting a little bit of an early lead as Azariel kind of pops onto there. T.B.A. on the chase, making sure he doesn't get too much value.
Azariel getting slowed. The Sundering comes out there, burning things to get out of here. That will also be the just the hammer spin just to get out of there. Wind Fury, I do believe it is. And so they'll pick up the camp on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Garrosh is sitting at 50-some%. And they'll have Tyrael on it. They can still get Triglav. I mean, you can, stop it. You can cap it at 99, but realistically, what are they going to do? Just auto each other? This is pretty much the best case scenario for both of them, as we have this forever standoff between these two. But teams have rotated up, and we have items available. They try to throw them off a little early, but 100%. Actually, they threw them onto the wrong side conveyor belt, but we have unstoppable use that Hunter is going to get coming out as well. Huge chunk. Sylvanas goes down first in this team fight, and Catpeach, I think they might get Hunter CJ.
Yeah, they're on the hunt for the Hunter themselves, but they get the flip on Caladius instead, and that Tyrael is going to fall, but shouldn't get any kills with that Angel this time around. So Reborne now pushing into this fight, into this fort rather. 2 members in the Triglaw, but still 5 members alive for them. So they are sitting good. They are sitting at 16 as well here, finally getting picked up for them. So sitting at a bit of an advantage, being able to now rotate across this map, catch up on a little bit of the structure damage they haven't been able to get so far in this match.
I like the play here, because I was thinking, I was like, are you going to go through mid and take that fort and get the experience? No, they're just going to go straight into bottom. They're going to prep themselves for the next objective, and Reborne making a smart play with that. They take out the well as well. That's still being, and just really on the side note of our talks of, you know, XP changes and fort changes, I still think that's going to be a high priority for these teams to take out the well. BN, though, might get caught out. No, Tenedakio won't step up. They still burn down the fort. They could go for more. They've got about a 50% Triglaw protector, and they could rotate into mid, get that fort. Blaze, though, super far up, trying to get some value for the friendly team. Gets that and gets out, but I think this is going to be a dead fort in mid as the Triglaw protector works his way over to that.
Yeah, great rotation from Blaze as well, making sure to go up and away from the rotation. So good call from the rest of T.B.A, making sure Blaze didn't go straight back and into the hands of the protector, and surely death had that been the case. So great job. They've now been able to catch up on level 16, which means this is the time for them to fight. And it looks like they might be going in. The Lunar Flare lands, but the stun goes out onto Garrosh. Twilight Dream is out. The bunker as well. The heals are there, but Tyrael is going to be the first to fall. Is the value there? The Ice Block from Jaina used. Winterheart not taking any of that angelic damage. Tenedakio helping to get the confirm onto Blaze and Malfurion, and this is not the fight that T.B.A needed now that they had 16, and this is going horribly wrong as they lose 4 members, and it's up to be 5.
That is a big yikes, because that, you said it right. That's a fight that they did not expect to go that way. Now, yes, they did trade out for the Garrosh, but they lost their mid fort. I don't know what the big play is here. I think they're just going to go ahead and grab some camps, get some pressure. Realistically, they could have run to the top left and stolen the enemy side camp if they jumped on it really quickly. But I think the big thing, and especially on Volsky Foundry, is items. Items are so powerful during these engagements, and being able to have a biotic emitter that's going to be giving support for your team, as well as having these turrets that will just end up getting more damage out. And it also nullifies the big thing around having Sylvanas. Having Sylvanas to buff your items and use those during the fights, well, they've completely denied that consistently throughout this game, and I think that's one of the great plays that they've had on the side of Reborne. But they know that they're on this, and it's actually scattered out by Mist. They start to back off, but the friendly team starts to rotate in, and Catpeach, this could be another big brawl right on their hands, because they got to take this right before Reborne gets to 20.
Yeah, this is their last chance. Under stepping in, the bunker uses zone, but you can't camp the camp while you're in the bunker, but they're able to step out. Bunker almost acting like a secondary holy ground in that scenario, just denying the area. Turret finally picked up, Caladius having it in hand. Vision going out onto the Raider as Rothcopter gets stuck on that conveyor belt. So a good pick, not necessarily the overall fight, but still a good denial of getting that item away from Reborne.
Item stolen away, some low health forts on the map, and we just have the cycle out. They're gonna go ahead, they say, all right, cool, they got 20s. We do not want to fight them on those 20 talent tiers, especially because there's going to be the upgraded winter mute for Jaina. That's gonna get some nice damage, because I do believe it copies her abilities, but
all her abilities as well.
And they're 50% less, so you still have damage. It's a lot. And then we're gonna have the extra throw for Garrosh, the Titanic Might. Overall, I'm really loving this so far, but 17 to 20, they're kind of sharking around, maybe looking for a pick, someone who's out of position. They look for Ezreal, but that's going to be a stun coming out from Valimar, and I think they make a disengage. Yeah, they make a clean disengage.
Yep. If you can't get the pick in a couple of seconds, you gotta go. And it looks like they might have stayed around for too long. The assemble comes out from Blaze, able to get away, but that's a heroic and a pyromaniac used. Before things really even begin.
And the other thing too, on top of that, is you have the Tranquility, which is now on a 60-some second cooldown, and that's not where you want to be with your big heal, especially when the enemy team, I do believe, has a biotic emitter on top of that, and they've already got to 62%. The rest of the team starts to rotate in. They need to play this a little slow. Tentadactyls on their own. Valmar's got some healing for them, but they still need to have Jaina as well as Hanzo come in on this fight. Almost every heroic is off cooldown except for that Tranquility noted before, but we have Tentadactyl. Self-cleanse is going to get out, and they might want to take a turn on this fight. Hunter CJ drops the bunker. That's going to be the arrow coming out from Hanzo. Play the game is going to get the kill. They get the kill into Blaze here, and they're looking for more as they get the Tyrael. Going to be looking to get, actually just running away, not even going to be trying to get the trait value here, and they chase a couple of these members out, and that is going to be Garrosh right back onto the point. And it looks like they can pressure up this lane even further, maybe even go and open this up and just run down bottom, or maybe they're just running down mid. Oh, no, they're going to go for the camp.
Yeah, they get yet another turret to help with this next push. So whether or not they want to use it on the keep, or if they feel confident and want to go for core here, still sitting at 20, the Tyrael and Blaze will be up by that point. So maybe not the safest call to say we can definitely go for game, but never not on the table, especially if you can pick off the Malfurion or the Rainer before that even happens.
They're looking to open up bottom lane. This will be big for them because the next Triglav Protector will be in mid lane. We'll see if it goes that far, as this Protector is at 97%. They drop the turret as well in this bottom lane. They really want to burn down this keep, maybe go for more. Yush is just going to dive around with a haunting wave and trying to juke and jive. Miss looking for a kill, but maybe a little bit too far out. Gonna get the leap right over the wall. That was a nice use of that, but the Triglav Catpeach works its way into the core. They drop another turret. Winter Mute is coming out as well, and they start to burn this thing down.
Yeah, this core is falling fast. The Twilight Dream, or the Tranquility is out, but it does not heal out the core. Reborne taking their third win of the night here against T.B.A.